very important for me to understand what you have not mentioned on your profile. What are you going to talk in front of me that's beyond, AI and ChatGPT? But rather than if in case you can say a hi and start an introduction, you will be the first person for me to give you my email ID to get your application. That's one. Your basic simple tagline or a subject line, which will give me the first glimpse of your email, is very important for me. Even HR operations, inside sales profile, I get to know immediately that what profile is this, and I will open that profile first. I have faced multiple challenges, especially these days when people give online interviews. I have experiences wherein someone else have given the interview and someone else comes to join the organization. Because I work with Percipere, but this is my tagline, that we don't have open door policy because we don't have doors at all. With AI, I think people should understand that now the hiring managers or even HR or any smart person in the world can easily identify if your email and your profile is AI generated. Today the mindset have changed. Today the candidates pick up whether they want to work with that hiring manager or not. Thankfully, touch wood, in last almost 12 months of mine with Percipere, I never woke up with stress. I would say work-life balance was a past, concept. Today it is work-life integration. Don't do only Rangoli competitions, which my friends tease me. We can write a lot of playbooks and HR handbooks to tell what the culture is, but I think it should not be on paper, but it should be a walk the talk. Look, in EVP, while it is a document, I would say it is something that carries the brand messaging.
Hi viewers, you are applying for jobs, you have updated your resume, completed certifications, prepared for interviews, and yet you keep hearing the same thing. Unfortunately, we have decided to move forward with another candidate. The frustrating part is that nobody tells you why. What are hiring managers actually looking for? Why do some candidates get selected despite having similar qualifications? What interview mistakes instantly reduce your chances? And in a world where AI is changing jobs faster than ever, what should you be doing today to stay relevant tomorrow? To answer these questions, I've invited someone who has spent nearly 2 decades building teams, shaping workplace cultures, and helping organizations identify and grow talent. He has seen thousands of resumes, interviewed candidates across experience levels, and understands firsthand what separates candidates who get hired from those who don't. So, without wasting a single second, let's hear it from the horse's mouth. Let's hear it from Shreyas Desai, HR head at Percipere. Shreyas sir, welcome to Let's Hear It From.
Ajay, thank you so much. It was a very humbling introduction. So I really appreciate that. Thanks.
Yeah. I come to the first question, Shreyas sir. Now, just imagine a situation if a candidate were to ask you, apart from my resume, what can I do to significantly improve my chances of getting hired? What advice would you give them based on what you have observed over these years?
I would say it's very look, when we send a particular job description, it matches your profile. That's the reason you are on the table to give an interview, right? So it's very important for me to understand what you have not mentioned on your profile. That's very important for me. Two, everyone today gives ChatGPT answers. Don't mind me saying that, right? But what are you going to talk in front of me that's beyond, AI and ChatGPT? What is your absolute creativity that's important for me? So for an example, if I'm hiring for sales, I need someone who will close numbers, but how will you do it in a creative way, and how you will bring on out of the box thought on the table is something very important for me. So I would say, along with whatever the technical skills you are, I will be the first person to look for competencies and skill sets. Be it any profile, I feel the go-getter attitude is something that's very important for me.
Absolutely, such a apt, clear-cut answer. Job seekers, if you are listening, please don't take help of ChatGPT. Be as natural as possible. Sir, moving forward, many job seekers genuinely put in a lot of effort during interviews. They update their resumes, prepare for interviews, and apply to dozens of job roles. Yet they often don't get the outcome they are hoping for. Sir, from your perspective as an HR leader, what are some of the most common mistakes candidates make during the application process, second interview process, that they may not even realize that are hurting their chances of getting selected?
I would say I will cite one example. Okay. I would say I'm quite active across all social media platforms. People these days say what's up on LinkedIn chat box. I understand the generations are changing, but rather than if in case you can say a hi and start an introduction, you will be the first person for me to give you my email ID to get your application. That's one.
Wow.
Because your WhatsApp doesn't help me to identify why are you in my inbox. So that's a waste of my time. Two, I would say whenever, and I will give you my personal example, whenever I have given interviews without stress, hesitation that, oh, will I be selected? Oh, what will happen to my candidature? No, just go, give it. Zyada se zyada kya hoga? You're going to get rejected. But if you sit with a very calm mind without thinking about you have 10 other candidates, I think you're going to do pretty well. These days I see people, walking in very casually at times. I think you need to understand the difference between the casual and the professional decorum. I think these are very basic things which I would, expect if someone is sitting in front of me as a candidate.
Job seekers, if you are listening, please take it seriously. This was one very important piece of advice. Sir, moving forward, I often see job seekers see hiring from only one side, from their point of view only. They know they are looking for job opportunities, but they don't always understand the challenges employees like you are facing. From your perspective as an HR leader, what are some of the biggest hiring challenges and talent retention challenges organizations are dealing with today? And most importantly, what can candidates do to position themselves as a part of the solution?
Look, my first challenge is that when I post a particular job opportunity, I get like hundreds of profiles. Your basic simple tagline or a subject line, which will give me the first glimpse of your email, is very important for me. If you just say, please consider my profile, or if you just say profile for your reference, that's not going to work because I have hundreds of other profiles. But if you categorically mention that, hey, I am like, SAP, FICO, those technical terms, or even HR operations, inside sales profile, I get to know immediately that what profile is this, and I will open that profile first. Me and my team, we don't have time to look into all 500 profiles which are coming to me. So you need to be very categoric. That's point one. Point two, I have faced multiple challenges, especially these days when people give online interviews. I have experiences wherein someone else have given the interview and someone else comes to join the organization.
My goodness.
And I will be very open with it. I have seen blur screens wherein people give interview. At times they were like, oh, my network is not working or something. They open another chat boxes wherein you get the answers. But thankfully, my gray hair helps me to understand who's really true and who's not. Since then, you will not believe we have started taking screenshots of the people who are coming on screen for an interview. People take multiple people take multiple offers and then they toggle between one of it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I'll tell you, we started with one particular program wherein we ask people to come for a coffee or a lunch before they join.
Wow.
Majority of the people who don't come for that breakfast or snack meet, they don't join us. Our offer to joining ratio is very clear on this lunch meet. If they really come to see our office, if they really come for lunch, I know this guy is going to join.
Wow.
So these are my challenges, right from shortlisting the profile to, someone coming for an interview, faking their candidature, coming on board. A lot of times, declining the joining maybe just 48 hours well in advance.
Yes.
Now the next most important is, they'll join. but what's next? So I think
Hmm.
learning from the mistakes, we have a very structured 30, 60, 90 plan. You have a buddy that is assigned to you. You have clear roadmap given to you what's going to happen between those 90 days, because I think that's the absorption period. If I can survive the culture for first 90 days, yes, I'm going to be there with the organization, let's say at least for 2 years. That's the bare minimum today I expect. Not only that, I have seen, competitive offers. You are here maybe for 8, 10 months at times, and then just someone gives you some hike, and
Hmm.
then you keep on jumping. How long will you jump? And
Hmm.
for how many years?
Yes.
There will be one time wherein you will have to be stable.
Right.
Not just that, today I see people joining for one profile, but within a year they feel, oh no, I want to do something else. Oh no, I want to do something else. That's my challenge. They
Hmm.
at times do not have a clear structured vision for their careers. Thankfully, when I started my career, I got great coaches who told me that, hey, this is what you can do probably to be a CHRO one fine day. But today's generation doesn't like feedbacks and recommendations to be given to them. They're extremely entitled.
Correct. Right.
So vision, stability, clarity, discipline are few things which I feel are very important in the overall journey in a corporate life. Last but not the least, if you say, how do I, not I, rather, how do we, have retention efforts? I would say, not because I work with Percipere, but this is my tagline, that we don't have open door policy because we don't have doors at all. My CEO, my COO, everyone sit on the floor with the employees. You will see, I would always recommend to see our Instagram page wherein people are playing catch while they're working. So we have an extremely cool environment wherein we do a vibe check. I think these days, giving empathy and kindness to your employees is very important rather than just giving them money and benefits.
Hmm. Yes. Such an apt and such a correct answer. Sir, moving forward, many job seekers today are still following advice that may have worked a decade ago. Now, with AI screening resumes, virtual interviews becoming common, and workplaces evolving rapidly, what are the biggest changes you have observed in hiring, and how can candidates adapt to stay ahead?
As I said, the biggest challenges in hiring is, toggling with the offers
Yes. Hmm.
every time when they're moving. As I said, not having a larger vision per se. That's my biggest challenge when I'm going through the interview process. But with AI, I think people should understand that now the hiring managers or even HR or any smart person in the world can easily identify if your email and your profile is AI generated.
Hmm.
If you don't add your individual human flavor to your profile and to your email, we
Right.
completely understand that it's AI driven. I think a lot of people still today don't know how to give the right prompts to make your profile and email better.
Hmm.
So use AI. Of course, it's
Yes.
it's a boon, but
It's a
don't make it a curse for yourself.
yes. Yes. Job seekers, please don't depend on ChatGPT completely for building your resumes. Sir, moving forward, let's come to company cultures. Every company today talks about having a great company culture, but job seekers often struggle to distinguish between what's written on career pages and what actually happens inside the organization. In your view, what truly defines a healthy, high performing work culture, and what signs should candidates look for during the hiring process to determine whether a company genuinely lives its values?
I think the days are gone when people were very, I would say, I'm not getting the word, or maybe they were very inclined towards getting an offer, right? When I was 20
Right.
years back, if I look at my younger self, I used to be like, oh, nee, I need this job. I want to get into this organization. I want to work with this person. Today, the mindset have changed. Today, the candidates pick up
Right.
whether they want to work with that hiring
Yes.
manager or not,
Right.
right? So it is more for a candidate whether they will accept you as an organization or not.
Yes. Right.
So considering that, I think that culture is something that's a top down approach.
Mm-hmm.
If I talk about my leaders, be it Prathamesh Bengade, who's the CEO, Abhay Mehta, who's the CEO, whom I report into, you should see how calm, cool they are in any particular situation, and they will still be very respectful in any particular stressful situation. I have learned that.
Mm-hmm.
The way I say just said about the culture that we don't have doors at all, that's coming from them. So it's very important for the leaders to be the right visionaries when they are setting up that culture. Whenever I have my leaders, they are generally in, Middle East or UK. Whenever they come down, I see they taking the team for a simple breakfast or a cricket tournament. That is, it will happen for sure when the leaders are there. So that's a top down culture. I have worked with organizations wherein they ask you to work 24/7, and every morning you wake up with a stress that I have to send this PPT, I have to send that report. Thankfully, touch wood, in last almost 12 months of mine with Persipere, I never woke up with stress. And I decided to join Persipere because I wanted to have a very peaceful sleep every night. So I think, as I said, to summarize, culture is something that's top down.
Absolutely. Job seekers, if you're looking for a unstressed job, then Persevere is the place for you. Sir, moving forward, when candidates, evaluating job offers and job opportunities, they often hear terms like, employee well-being, employee engagement, and work-life balance. Uh, but once they join, their actual experience can be very different. So, based on your experience, what initiatives, leadership practices, or cultural elements genuinely make employees feel valued, motivated, and committed to staying with an organization? I think you have just touched it, but I just want to get deeper into it.
I would say work-life balance was a past, concept. Today, it is work-life integration, is what I feel.
Okay.
I work for a global organization. At times, if I get a particular call from UK or US after my working hours, I cannot say that, hey, I'm not going to pick that call. Of course,
Mhm.
because if it is happening daily, there is a challenge. But if in case it's happening because of urgency or because someone needs your support, I think there has to be that integration built in well in advance. Today, I see people with 2, 3 years of experience saying that, oh, I need break because I am, kind of overloaded in my 3 years. I mean, maybe this is generation, but in last 20 years, I never thought that. We kept on going.
Yes, yes, yes.
But said that, I think, when we talk about employee engagement, my recommendation is don't do only Rangoli competitions, which my friends tease me that what do you do after October because Diwali is over, so what
Correct.
HR does. So my point is, link those engagement activities to something that is very meaningful. I mean,
Mhm.
just for simple example, when I do things which I did it in my childhood, even I do it today, my happiness quotient is improved. A
Mhm.
simple pottery workshop at work can really take me back to my childhood, and that's going to increase my happiness quotient. Do I have a counselor on board if in case I have certain, mental health issues? Am
Mhm.
I creating a right safe space for you to walk up to me and talk about your challenges, be it personal, be it professional, anything? I know we should not cross the personal boundaries, but at times people do come up with challenges like simple. I'm staying in a city like Mumbai, but I have EMI issues. They don't have anyone to talk to. Then am I creating that safe space for them to come to me and speak about their challenges? We can write a lot of playbooks and HR handbooks to tell what the culture is, but I think it should not be on paper, but it should be a walk the talk.
Amazing, amazing. Sir, let's come to employee value proposition. Many organizations talk about employee value proposition, EVP, but for job seekers, it can sometimes sound like marketing messages rather than a real employee experience. So, in your view, what makes an EVP genuinely strong and authentic, and how can candidates determine whether a company's promises align with what employees actually experience?
Look, in EVP, while it is a document, I would say it is something that carries the brand messaging, right? If I'm not going to communicate my brand value to you, then you will assume something which is not the reality. So
Mhm.
point one, EVP does really make sense for me,
Yes.
because it an ideal EVP should have all the necessary links about, be it the talent development function of yours, be it the L&D function of yours. It should talk about people and their
Yes.
experiences.
Right.
It should talk not only about the LinkedIn kind of messaging, but I am a huge fan of the Insta page that what we have,
Mhm.
which really talks
Yep.
about the culture. And I have so many people who joined us because of the Insta page before the LinkedIn page.
Wow.
So the EVP is something that's very important to carry your brand, that I would say.
Amazing. You have a strong EVP. Sir, moving forward, the pace of change in today's workplace is unprecedented with technology, AI, and business needs which are evolving constantly. So, from your perspective, how important is continuous learning for long term career success, and what are some of the skills, mindsets, even capabilities professionals should actively develop to remain relevant and valuable in the coming years ahead?
I'll cite an example. Okay. Again, I will come back to brand and I will link that to the learning and development. We all use soap for bathing, right? Someone uses Lux, which is a beauty soap.
Yes.
Someone can, and I'm just taking names, someone can use, let's say, Dettol because it kills the germs. Someone can use Santur because they want to look young. But at the end of the day, all three do the same job, that is
Right.
used for bathing, right? I need to create my brand for the world. If I'm not investing in myself to create my brand, someone else is going to do it. We all are HRs. What is a different contribution am I taking to the world? So I need to decide whether I want to be a Lux, a Dettol, or a Santur. Now,
Mm.
basis that, it's very important for me to invest in myself. It's very important to be a part of the competition, unfortunately, to upgrade yourself daily. I know for myself, earlier I used to use books. Now I have moved to podcast. Now I have used to bite-sized learning, which is, let's say, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Pick up your learning tricks basis your interest and basis your time availability. I might not have time to read a book, but the same, let's say tomorrow, if I want to talk about accountability at work, instead of using reading a book, I can go to a bite-sized learning. What I'm trying to say here is anything that what you learn will never go waste.
Right.
So connect your learning to the kind of a brand that you want to carry for yourself. Otherwise, you're just one ship running in the race. You're not going to be a
Absolutely.
black or a white ship. So you need to decide what you want to be.
Absolutely amazing. Sir, moving forward, let's talk about career guidance to young MBA HR graduates. You know, your stream, your candidates. I have come across many MBA HR graduates who are aspiring to move directly into areas like HR business partnering, L&D, or and strategic HR, and often view recruitment as something to avoid in their early careers. So, from your experience, why do you think recruitment can actually be one of the most valuable foundations for a successful HR leader? And what does this typical journey from an entry level HR to becoming an HR head look like?
This is my personal opinion. People might backlash, but I will be honest. I have seen majority of the MBA graduates, HR MBA graduates,
It's HR.
get into HR because they don't like sales and
Oh,
targets, so they can't do
yes.
sales.
Yes.
They don't want to be out there, so they don't go into marketing. They are bad in numbers, so they can't do finance, so they take HR.
Mm.
That's my
Mm.
first problem when I'm hiring someone as a fresher.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Two, they want to conquer the world in 2 years. Not possible.
No.
Three, I would say, to answer your question, why talent acquisition first? Because first, it helps me to understand whether you really have that go-getter attitude to close that one position between 90 days. Two, you start working with so many stakeholders, so it gives me a chance to evaluate whether you really can do stakeholder management, which is very important as an HR business partner. Three, you get to learn about every profile, every
Hmm.
job description, every function. So you will be the first person who understand the business, like from an HR standpoint,
Right.
right? Four, you have to manage so many things at one time. You have to talk to the candidates, you have to talk to the stakeholders, you have to take the pressure of the closing the positions. So it really tastes you whether you are a really good fit for the organization or not. If in case you do that, and it at times I feel it's nothing but a sales job, you have to sell your organization to get the right candidate.
Yes.
If you can really do that pretty well, then I think something like in HR operations or shared services, you should do to understand data crunching, etc. Then you should move to more about employee engagement, HR business partnering. Then you can explore L&D. Then you can get into the talent management and organizational space or change management. That qualifies you to be the CHRO of the world.
Amazing. Such a apt answer and such a well articulated answer. Sir, moving forward, many professionals, I meet today are wondering whether AI will replace their jobs, reshape their jobs, or create entirely new opportunities. Sir, as someone who has spent years evaluating talent and workforce trends, how do you see the future unfolding? What skills or capabilities would you encourage people to develop and stay ahead of this curve?
Look, if you don't evolve, you can be a dinosaur. You will be only seen in the movies.
My
So
goodness.
technically, if I don't want to be a dinosaur, I have to compete, because let's agree that we all are replaceable.
Hmm.
Tomorrow, someone can replace me in like 2 minutes, I'll not even know. So I always say you need to build multiple skills. Even in HR, I need to understand how does the competency mapping happens, how does a career development plan is designed, how does succession planning happens, what is the new labor code, how are we going to implement that. Along with that, if in case it's AI, am I really equipped to do Power BI? Can I
Hmm.
really do data crunching? All of that is very important. So if tomorrow AI takes my job, I'm not saying it is a boon. If you
Hmm.
don't evolve, then it is going to be a curse. Yes, there are people today outside HR also, I see, creating, creatives, videos, etc.
Hmm.
by this on
That is
AI. Yes,
yes,
it
yes,
it can be harmful
sir.
to your job. I agree.
Yes,
But
yes.
then if you are ahead of the curve, at the end of the day, if you want to create something on AI, you need to have something in your mind, right? Then only AI can
Can I?
create for you or
Yes.
replace you. So, as I said, brand is important for me. Basis that what learnings I need to inculcate for myself are important for me. If I'm ahead of the curve, I don't think so. AI is a challenge for me.
Yes, absolutely. Very well articulated. All right, Shreyas sir, let's wrap up with a quick rapid fire round. First thing that comes to your mind, no overthinking. My first rapid fire question goes to you right now. One quality that instantly impresses you in a candidate.
The way they present themselves for the interview,
One interview mistake that candidates make far too often.
they oversell themselves.
Degrees or skills.
Skills,
AI, is it a friend or a threat?
friend,
If you could teach every job seeker one skill, what would it be?
empathy,
My,
emotional intelligence.
okay. One question every candidate should ask an interviewer.
Why do you think I'm the right fit for you?
Wow. Uh, Toughest role to hire for.
I would say a cook in my house, a maid servant in my house.
Oh my
The
goodness.
blue collar job is more difficult today. I can easily hire a CEO, but not them.
My goodness. Resume or LinkedIn profile, which do you look at first?
A profile, technically, but I will cross validate that with the LinkedIn.
Okay. Sir, if you could change one thing about today's hiring process, what would it be?
Multiple interview rounds, just club people, take two
Yes.
rounds and finish it off.
Amazing. Last rapid fire question of this episode, podcasting, performing arts, or HR, if you had to choose only one for a year.
For a year,
Yes.
HR.
Okay. Shreyas sir, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, your insights, your experiences, and practical advice with our audiences today. And viewers, to everyone watching or listening, if you have found this conversation useful, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend, colleague, student, or a job seeker who could benefit from these insights. Thank you once again for joining us, and we'll see you soon in the next episode. Till then, take care.